What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of Grit and Grace podcast. I have a special guest, a famous guest, a celebrity guest.
Don't say that.
James So, a good friend of mine. I met him like a year ago. But yeah, he's first of all one of the dopest people I know. Like one of the most genuine people I know. But he's a content creator. And we were just having this conversation, but I started the podcast. But one of the most famous content creators out of Utah.
I'm just a TikToker, bro.
Just kidding. But yeah, well, welcome. Thanks.
Thank you, man. I'm so excited.
No, seriously.
I know we've chatted a lot, like just obviously off the camera, but I'm excited for this. I'm excited for your deep questions. I'm like nervous.
And
I'm
hope
like shaking, bro.
he's shaking. He's nervous.
Some water.
He's nervous. But no, yeah, I feel like we've seen like through Jacob, we've met each other, seen each other at parties, always had like a weird, genuine just connection. I feel like, and I'm sure you've been around people that maybe don't have that as much. But I just wanted you first to introduce yourself, just like who you are, where you're from. And
yeah, my name's Rice Gum. Make videos on MySpace. I'm just kidding.
That's crazy.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be serious. I gotta lock in.
Lock in.
My name is James So. I'm from Sandy, Utah. So born and raised here. I'm Korean by blood. And I just do like content. I think that's just like the main thing I do right now. I don't know how deep you want me to go into it, but yeah, I just do stuff on TikTok, mainly short form stuff right now, but trying to get into YouTube long form stuff, and then just creating like my own brands as well. So yeah, there's a lot I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. But mainly like short form content.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm like very like, I'm obviously not, I didn't bring you on. Like when I tell people this, like I don't bring people on because of, the exterior of what people see. Oh, you click on your profile.
Right. You
have 1.7 million followers. Your TikTok's huge. That's not why I brought you on. It's more of like, because that comes with a price.
Right.
And there's things that you've been doing that no one sees.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I wanted to start. The first question was like, first of all, what is it, like, when did you start with the content creation? Like, when did that kind of like first become part of who you were, or not who you were, but what you liked?
I actually was thinking about this recently. I'm like, what made me always like making videos? But I think it stemmed from like I watch my old family videos, like home videos, and my dad always had a camera. He was always filming us as kids. And I think I got it from him because I started making videos with like my brothers and cousins when I was like a kid. Like we'd always be filming, making like stupid little skit videos. Like I always was editing on like old softwares. And so yeah, I think that's how it started. And then they like seriously started like high school, like right after high school. So that's when like it seriously started. But yeah, I was always making videos.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So your dad was like always.
Yeah. I think I got it from him. He was just always like filming everything.
And so I know you've kind of, so you graduated high school and then you went on an LDS mission. Where did you serve?
California. Arcadia mission.
Arcadia.
So right next to LA.
Okay. And then you got home. Were you doing videos before? You were doing it kind of in high school a little bit?
Yeah. So like before my mission, I actually really got into photography.
Okay.
So that's when I actually picked up like a DSLR camera. That's when I learned like everything technical. So like how to shoot, like what shutter speed, ISO, aperture, like that's when I really got into like color grading on like Premiere and like Photoshop, and it's like highlight like, so that's when I really learned like technical stuff for like with cameras. And then I was doing like your typical freelance stuff, right, like weddings and concerts. And so back then it was like photography and like freelance video. And then it wasn't until after my mission when I would say it was like social media.
Okay. And do you feel like the social media aspect of things is really where you started to blow up?
Oh, for sure. Like I was always trying to do YouTube videos, and like, it's just typical vlogs of your life, and like only 50 people are watching, just your friends and family. And then I was always trying to grind YouTube because I like grew up on YouTube, and so my dream was always like, I want to be like a YouTuber, but never really was working. And then I think it was like 2020 when short form content was really blowing up. and my older brother.
Was that after Vine? Because I know
Yeah,
Vine was
it was after Vine.
really popular.
Because Vine, I believe it.
Did you dip into that?
Dude, I actually never watched Vine.
Really?
Yeah. Like all my friends watched Vine. I'm like, I actually never watched Vine, surprisingly. I was always just YouTube. But Vine died like 2016, 17, maybe 19, around there. And so that's when it was Musical.ly, and then it turned into TikTok. And so 2020 was like, my brother was like, hey.
Musical.ly?
Yeah, that was the app before TikTok.
Oh, I never
yeah,
even
which
knew
was,
that.
I think it was just like
Wait, when did you get off your mission?
2019.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Musical.ly was, I got off 2020, so that's
Okay.
probably where I missed I came home, TikTok was blowing up, and I was
Yeah,
like, what the hell
yeah.
is TikTok? I
No,
was
so when it was blowing up, my oldest brother actually was like, he had like a corporate job and everything. He's like, hey, we should try to really seriously do TikTok. Like, there's a lot of opportunity. So my brother bought a course actually, and so I think I don't know how much he spent, like a couple $1,000 or something. And we studied this TikTok course on like algorithms, like niches. Yeah, so we were like serious about it. And we're like, okay, we got to like master this. So we would study this course. Then we both started, and we started to grow. Like, I think I gained like 50,000 followers like in like a month. But then it was just very stupid content. So I stopped because I was just kind of burnt out. I'm like, this is not what I want to do. Went back to YouTube, tried to do YouTube. Again, didn't really get views. Then I went back to TikTok, and as a joke, I started a mukbang channel. Do you know what mukbangs are? It's like the people who eat food in front of the camera. No, I'm not even joking. I like started that as a joke. I was like screwing around. I'm like, here, film me eating this food. Because I worked at my parents' Korean barbecue restaurant. So I was just eating food, and I'm not kidding. I would post every day, just me aggressively eating food, and it blew up.
This is on TikTok.
TikTok. And I grew a mukbang account in about 6 to 8 months. I grew to like 250,000 followers, and I was getting brand deals with like Buffalo Wild Wings, Noodles and Company, like PF Chang's, and actually making money from like.
I never knew this.
So to answer kind of your like what you were saying earlier, it's like a lot of people don't see like the behind the scenes or the story. Like, people think you just blow up instantly. I'm like, dude, I had all these weird paths that, what made me who I am today. But anyway, I'll get to that. But yeah, I was doing this food account for like 6 to 8 months, making like probably like a couple grand a month just from like eating food. But then I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to be eating food on social media. Like, it was just like weird. So I went back to my other TikTok channel,
The one that had like 50,
the 50 grand.
Yeah.
And at the time,
Say 50 grand.
or 50K. Sorry,
50 grand
I'm just
a month,
always
you walked
thinking
away
about
from that.
money right now. Yeah, no, 50K. And there was this trend where people were asking students on campus what song they were listening to. So I'm like, oh, let me
What
go.
year is this now?
This was 2021.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's go to BYU, right? BYU is like a pretty well-known kind of unique school,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so I went on campus, and I went up to people. I asked them like, hey, what song are you listening to? And it was like kind of so weird, like interviewing people. And dude,
Was this your first time kind of doing like the whole interviewing
Yes,
thing?
yes.
So that was probably pretty uncomfortable when you first started? doing
Yeah, no. I mean, again, I've served a mission. I've done door to door
Yeah,
right
yeah.
before, so I knew how to talk to people.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
wasn't like, but
was
it was weird like having a camera and like asking people on camera. It was so weird. I remember like I had my buddy. I'm like, hey, can you come film this for me? And he was like, what? Like, this is weird, but sure. And we'd go up to people. I'm like, what song are you listening to? And I kid you not, in 3 weeks of posting those videos, we grew 500,000 followers in 3 weeks.
Insane.
From
and
that.
you were posting every day.
Pretty much, yeah. So from that kind of evolved into like asking other questions and like street interviews. Then it kind of turned into like the pranks. Then like it just, for like 8 months after this, it was like, pranks and weird interviews. And then I was like, I like the giveaway aspect. So I started like giving money away. In about 8 months, I grew to like 800K. And then I plateaued there
This
for
is
a
all
while.
TikTok.
Yeah, all TikTok. Then I think it was Christmas time where I was like, maybe I'll ask people if they want like $1 or a mystery gift, and I'll just stand there all awkward. Because I love like pranking and trolling people. And I did that video, and that blew up. It got like 20 million views. I'm like, okay, well, like this format's working. So I just kept
It's
ripping
insane.
these same videos. Each video, dude, was getting like 20 to 30 million views. And I grew from like 800K followers to like 3 million in like couple months. Like it was insane. And then that's when the whole like, you know, I would be like, Sony, please sponsor me. Like Mr. Beast, please collab. And that's when those like that, you
Those
know,
opportunities
those
opened.
opportunities came up just because we were getting like crazy views. Then I was just doing these crazy collabs, getting pretty big brand deals. And that's kind of what started this whole like mystery gift series. And I've been doing that now for like 2 years now. And it's been like a full-time thing. And just, it's honestly changed my life. It's like been
Yeah.
pretty nuts.
And I want to like touch on like obviously Mr. Beast, and I want to touch on the other aspects and the stories of those. But I first want to be like like it's changed your life. But I think when people hear that, they go, it's changed his life because he's making money and he's famous. When I think probably the changing of your life is more deeper than that.
For
And
sure.
so like right off the bat, like what has it done for you?
Such a good question, dude. Yeah, because
Yeah.
a lot of people just see the surface. Like,
It's
he's
just like,
on
oh yeah, he
TikTok.
gets money, and he's like, no, I feel like you are more deeper than that. Like,
Well, first thing I'll say is, dude, I've had a dream as a kid to be like a social media content creator, and like I don't care people think that's cringe. Like that's always been my dream. So I guess like getting the views right and getting the collabs and the money, it's like for me, it's just like this is like a childhood dream that's been fulfilled. You know, it doesn't matter about the followers or the money or anything. It's like I'm actually doing this. Like people are watching. I'm like impacting them in a positive way for the most part, and I'm doing this as my job. Like that's just been like the dream. So that's number one. Like that's just crazy that I've been
Yeah.
able to like, and I still have so much more I want to do. Like this is just the beginning.
oh yeah,
So that's one. Two, what it's done for me, was that the question? Dude, I don't think people see like the years of building this, right? Like people like see you blow up and like, oh dang, he just like randomly blew up. It's like, dude, I spent 10 years trying to do YouTube and getting no views and posting other things that don't get any attention, and people don't see like that build up of the past 10
grindy.
years
It's
of
grindy.
now, because I would spend hours on videos, right? Like time and money with it, getting nothing, no views, no money, nothing. And so it's almost like now getting like the benefits, it's like from all the past years of the hard work. But I forgot what I was going to say. What was like the main question again?
it was kind of like this idea that like, yeah, everyone sees that you probably get money and you're famous, but you said it's changed your life, and I feel like there's deeper aspects to that. And so living out your childhood dream you talked about, and then I wanted to touch on like impact. Like when you do those mystery gifts, sure, there's maybe some planning of it, but the aftermath of some of these people, I'm sure like you've done some big things for people, and like I'm sure that in itself, like the idea of like serving and giving
Yeah.
to people is probably
I always talk down on myself because it's like, I always say they're just TikToks, and like I still believe that, like I am just making silly TikToks, right, at the end of the day. But what I have learned is there is impact, right? Like a lot of people come up to me and they're like, dude, thanks for just like making me laugh. You know, like a lot of people sometimes just need that escape. Like as a kid, when I watched YouTube, when I watched Casey or like Logan or David or whatever, like all these idols of mine, I remember like the 5 to 10 minutes of watching them, I would just be like so inspired, or I would just laugh, and that would just bring me joy in my day, which I know sounds kind of cheesy, but like I feel like a lot of people just kind of have like sometimes hard lives, like with school or work, like they're just stressed. So being able to just like scroll, laugh for 60 seconds and be like, that was silly or whatever. That's like, that just makes your day better, you know?
yeah.
But I think some of like the deeper impacts, like there's like this one story that was crazy. I was at UVU where I always film my TikToks, and this Japanese kid came up to me and he was like, yo, like I moved here from Japan to go to UVU because of your videos. He was like, I was looking up aviation programs in the US,
way.
and I always watch your videos, so I saw that UVU had a good program, so I'm here because of you. And that was like the true definition of like influencer, you know, like
actually influencing
Yeah, like
people's
I like,
actions.
and he was like, I love being here now in Utah, and like so shout out to whoever, I forget his name, but like that was a crazy moment of like, wow, because of my videos, you are able to come to this school to pursue your, your career in aviation, and that was nuts. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a rare story, but yeah, I think there's definitely impact, even though they're silly, like little 60-second videos.
Well, the other day what was it? You did like $5,000 ring or an engagement ring
Yeah,
for someone?
we did a video.
Like that's like,
dude.
for a college student,
Yeah.
that's like almost life-changing in a
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, I mean their budget was like $1,000, right? They're both working at restaurants, grinding to make money, and it's like we give them a $5,000 ring. It's like that's nuts. So, yeah, I'm like really grateful for the opportunities now of like brands and being able to like give away some cool stuff.
Yeah,
And so
for sure. When do you feel like, okay, so obviously some of your biggest moments obviously have been Mr. Beast. You were on Logic's music video. What are some other ones like that are just like when you think about it, you're just like, whoa, this is kind of dope.
Yeah, so I'll give you kind of the timeline.
Yeah,
right?
I want to hear
like,
about this.
when I was first giving away mystery gifts, I was giving away like tire screws, like potatoes, like just stupid gifts. Then I was like, okay, let's actually give away something good. So I bought like $40 Sony headphones, and I was giving those away. And then I was always like, Sony, please collab. And eventually Sony did collab. And so that was like the biggest, for me, I was just making silly videos. And then Sony, this huge brand that I love, wants to partner up. And so they like paid me, sent a bunch of products, and we gave away like a whole bunch of Sony stuff. And then that has started into like a longer term, partnership. So Sony, I would say, was like the first like bigger, partner, which was crazy. Then it was like the Mr. Beast quest. I was just like, Mr. Beast, like please collab for like 4 months straight, and collabed with him. That was such
How
a
did
cool.
that happen? Because anyone that doesn't know YouTube, even I know, he's huge. Like huge.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
probably, would you say he's one of the biggest influencers in the world?
For sure. Mr. Beast.
Is he probably, do you think he's probably the...
Dude, Mr. Beast is like... No, Mr. Beast is like... He's cracked.
His new Amazon Prime show. Apparently, every episode he gave away $500 million.
No, it was
Or
nuts.
$5 million. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, 500 million. I was like, no way. He's
No,
multiple,
Mr. Beast
but still
is-
5. Yeah, that's...
He's like a smaller creator for sure. No, he's one of the, yeah. So with that,
Okay, I'm just gonna, the biggest.
Yes.
This is for my mom. These are for the people that really don't. The biggest social media influencer
Yes.
probably ever to walk the earth. Like,
he's one of the greats. Like he's like on the Mount Rushmore of YouTube creators, social media creators.
yeah.
But with that, I mean,
Yeah, how did that all happen?
The strategy, dude, is just like this is very simple. It's like you have to provide value, right, to the other person. Like a collaboration is like a win-win. Obviously, can't really provide much for him, but like we were giving away his Feastables chocolate in every video, so we were like giving him free promo, dude. I think for 4 months we posted almost every day, and I called it like the Mr. Beast quest. And I mean, dude, probably over 1 billion total views just in that series across all platforms, right? So we have like his chocolates. We're like giving him free promo for everything. And what was funny is, I think 2 months in the quest, someone, like a friend, connected me to the team, and the team was like, "Hey, like we should do a video actually." And I was like freaking out, and then they kind of ghosted me for 2 more months after seeing that. And so I was kind of heartbroken. And the reason they did that, so kind of their perspective was like, I guess, the Mr. Beast team is so big, and so they have different Discord chats, right? Because they have like short form, long form, like all these different. I guess people were sending my videos to like the short form Discord, saying you have to make this collab happen. So that was happening the whole time, and I didn't even know. And so they reached out to me 2 months in. And the reason they kind of ghosted me is because like timing is everything on social media. Everyone at the Beast team, they're so smart, and they're like, oh, it's like preheating. Like we can't do the collab yet. It's like we have to have it build up. So that's why they waited another 2 months when everything was just so hot. So that finally they're like, okay, the time's right. So
it's crazy they have a whole team doing that, like studying the algorithm, studying what works.
So dude, I remember this day so vividly. It was 4 months into this collab, right? I was just in the dark. They text me.
You were in the dark.
Yeah, literally in the closet. No, as in like just. I had no. They ghosted me.
You were just dark.
I was dark.
Yeah, dark.
Yeah.
You are dark.
I am dark skinned. Yeah. I just got a call from the team, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come out to North Carolina today?"
Oh
And I'm
my.
like, I mean, yeah, but like, you should have given. I'm like, of course, I'm coming, but like, why'd you have to throw this on me? So I'm driving to the airport. I remember driving to the airport.
They pay for your flight and stuff, I'm
Oh,
assuming.
dude, everything's like flight. You get there, there's a rental car waiting for you. They give
Everything.
you a credit card just for your stay. It's so seamless. But I get another call though on the way to the airport, and they're like, "Hey, something happened. We can't like do the collab anymore." Yeah, dude, and this is on video. It's like it's in my vlog on YouTube. It's like.
So they ghosted you for 2 months.
So they ghosted
finally
me.
reach out.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, we can't do the collab." I'm like, "What?" And they're still come out like meet the team. I'm like, that is like you're edging me right now. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not cool. Like in a
No.
sense, it's like
and yeah, I was just like, what? I was so like, dude, 4 months of like, I spent so much money and time into this, like getting this collab, and then it was just like a mental roller coaster. Anyway, I get there. They showed me they have a warehouse for just short form like TikToks, and the warehouse is huge. It's just filled with like everything, and so I toured that, and then they have the main warehouse, dude. It's like Costco, and they have like it's just insane what they have there. I met the team. The team was so cool, and then finally I was just like manifesting. I'm like, dude, this is gonna happen, and I think one of the days like actually we might be able to make this work out.
how
And
long were you there?
I was there for like a weekend or something.
Okay.
And there's nothing there in like Greenville, North Carolina. Nothing out there. Crazy. Like
I lived
it's
in
like
North
it's
Carolina. Yeah.
it's like Nephi, Utah.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's like nothing. And it's crazy how they're operating one of the biggest businesses out there. So eventually they're like, actually no, I think it'll work out. Like meet us at this Walmart at this time the next day. We'll film there because like we did a video
Sorry, keep
where,
going.
where we like had him in a giant box pop out. So we pull up to the Walmart. I don't know how much I should be saying because I don't want to like have a bad image, but then there it was starting to rain, and they're like, okay, he might not come because like it's raining and it just might be like.
So it's another one where you're
No,
like,
no, it was like another like their schedules are so busy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like we're at the Walmart parking lot after they said like we spent hours on making this giant box. Like we spent hours making this stuff, and we're waiting at the Walmart like 30 minutes away from our shoot time, and we still don't know if it's gonna happen, dude. It was like this, and then eventually they're like, okay, he's coming, and he pulls up, and he just pulls up in a Tesla. He's just by himself. He's like, hey, get in. So I just get in, and
He just pulled up and said, "Get in."
yeah, and so it's like me, him, and then Rohan, who's like the manager, the short form manager, and we're just chatting. And we're just like, yeah, like, he's like, what's the video? And then we kind of like brief him on stuff. And then, yeah, we do the video. And then he's like, I want to go check on my chocolates inside the Walmart because he just loves checking on them. So we go inside the Walmart just to look at the chocolates. And then people are just starting to like stare, and like it was crazy. And then like you could tell people are going to start swarming. And we filmed another video in there too where we gave 2 kids like a mystery gift. So we filmed something in there. And then, yeah, we filmed that. But then after that, like people are starting to swarm. So he's like, I'm going to get out of here. It was nice to meet you. And he just dipped.
So you just made a really quick video.
Yeah, we did 2 videos really quick. I wish I would have talked to him more, picked his mind. But like he was just,
so busy.
yeah. Sorry, that was such a long story. But,
no, dude, that's insane. Because
yeah.
people they just see the video on your Instagram or on
yeah.
whatever. But
And like those videos we did like combined, like, I mean, they all did like at least 100 million videos. Like the 2 videos we did with him combined probably did like 500 million views, which is crazy. So
do you think that collab, that small, which is crazy because you watch the video and you're like, oh, he probably hung out with Mr. Beast for a weekend.
yeah,
they got dinner.
no. People ask me that. I'm like, dude, that guy is so busy, and he was cool,
Yeah.
but it was just like boom, 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 boom.
He's business at that point.
Yeah,
And people, and I wanted to touch on that because that's another like side of like, I guess fame, or not fame, but even people that are really successful is when they're dialed, it's like they're dialed.
Oh, they're dialed. Yeah,
He-
no,
he-
for sure.
He'll put on the happy face for the videos, but when he's going thing to thing, I'm sure he's
Yeah.
just like,
Well, and to answer your question before, another person I did stuff with was Logic, and like
we forgot to put on the lights, so we just turned on James' favorite color, blue. Do you feel happier?
I feel so much happier. Oh my gosh.
We like to make our guests happy,
Yeah,
so
I'm so happy. So Logic's like my Taylor Swift. Like
Okay.
I've listened to Logic
oh yeah,
for over a decade,
Under Pressure. I remember
Dude.
listening to him when I was like 14,
bro.
on the way to basketball tournaments.
You don't understand. Like that man is like my Taylor Swift, and this is a whole nother crazy story, dude.
And just so people to know, Logic is a really successful rapper.
Yeah, and yeah, he's definitely not like the biggest.
Yeah.
but like this is a whole nother crazy story. This is like manifestation, dude. And
I don't wanna hear about
and I
this,
don't
yeah.
want to.
No, I wanna
don't
hear
wanna
about
be
it.
like that weird guy who's like manifesting. Like
No.
no, I remember as a kid, I would tell myself, I'm like, I'm gonna meet this guy, but not in a fan way, but in a way of like
That
just
is
kind of like partnership, right? And you guys don't understand, like it's my Taylor Swift. It's not just like my favorite artist. Like this guy's like he just preaches peace, love, positivity. He just like I just loved his not only music but just like outlook on life. He was the one who would always be like follow your dreams. So I feel like a big
And he has
reason.
a dark story too.
Yeah, just grew up in violence, gang, like sexual assault, drugs, all that stuff. And he like made it out and stuff. But pretty much I always told myself that. And I just remember it was like one day. Okay, no, it's such a long story, but I'm going to try to make
No,
it
dude,
quick.
please.
I would always wear Logic merch in my videos when I was starting. And there's this guy, his name is Kenny. He messages me. He's like, yo. So Logic lived in Utah for 2 years. Not a lot of people know that. He lived out here for 2 years. So this guy named Kenny, he messages me. He's like, yo, I own the studio that Logic works out of in Utah. And he was like, you should come by the studio. And I was like, what? This is crazy. This is right when they left Utah, unfortunately. So I go meet Kenny, go to the studio. Like I see photos of the studio all the time on his social media, and I'm like, dang, I'm like so close to Logic. Like this guy is like was like his like audio engineer for a sec, and like he owned the studio, and he was just like, and then he connected me to like JT, who's like Logic's videographer, and I was like, this is so weird. I'm getting so close to like Logic and the team. And then I just remember one day, dude, I don't know how it happened, but they like put me in a group chat with like Logic's managers and like, hey, come do a video with him. I'm like, what? Because that was another quest, was to get Logic. And so I did. I remember, dude, it was in New York. I remember like, yeah, we just did like a collab video with him. And that was like such an insane moment of my life. Because I'm like, I'm like, this guy doesn't know like I'm a huge fan of 10 years. Like he just thinks I'm a, because we talked and he was like, dude, I was just like binge watching your videos. He was like, this is crazy. I was just like watching them, and it was just so weird. Like this guy didn't realize like I was just like a hardcore fan because I was like trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, like we just been so tight with the team, and like I've like done a couple things with him, and just yeah. So that was like a
Could you like text
gnarly-
him now?
No, it's not like that personal.
No,
But like I'm super tight with his team.
his team.
Yeah. And so I've met him probably like 4 times now, and just different, like we did the music video thing.
What music video was it?
44 Ever.
Do you remember what time in the video that you show up?
Oh, we're like scattered throughout.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone listen to the go
44
look at
Ever.
it. 44
40 44 Ever.
44 ever.
And that still like blows my
insane.
mind, dude. And it's like we just did stuff like like it was a collaboration. It wasn't like a fan moment, which is I'm still fanning. So that we done like the Chainsmokers, which is they're so cool.
That's crazy too.
They're so cool, dude. I like message Alex a lot, one of the white guys, besides the other white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always send him just random videos of like I stole his
He's
bat.
he's part of the Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just like blast his music every now and then. I just send him videos of us just like going crazy to it. But they're so cool. But yeah, I mean, the social media world has just introduced me to so many cool, celebrities, like public figures, and it's just really cool to like see them like, behind the scenes and like just learn stuff from them. And yeah, it's super inspiring.
That's amazing,
But
dude. That's
sorry
I
to
love. No,
keep
I wanted
ranting
to.
about-
No, dude, this is what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear these stories because I don't think people know the background of these things. But I also wanted to get into the background of you as a person.
Yeah.
And what do you feel like you've taken these last like 5-6 years? Like, what are some of the most? I like to focus on the last year because I feel like year by year,
Right.
you always have kind of
so
a
different.
a theme or
Yeah.
a principle that you have been like, this is so true for me.
Yeah.
And what is like a principle or lesson this last year that you're like, this is what I've been learning?
So I'll answer both. I'll answer like the past 4 to 5 years, and then I'll answer last year. I would say the last 4 to 5 years is I have this motto, which it's just something I've always followed. But people in life are always like, keep it real, keep it real. But I think the opposite. You have to keep it surreal. Like, I feel like you have to do things in life where you're like, this is a movie. Like, literally, like, just keep it surreal. Like, always be
That's so
doing things in life where it's like, this does not feel like real. This feels like a dream. This is like a simulation.
Wow. Yeah, I've never thought about it like
I just
that.
love life. Like, it needs to feel crazy, right? So that's kind of like the main thing I've learned the past 4 to 5 years. The last year, I would say it's been a little bit of like, not like a tough year, but like, I think, I had kind of like the dopamine and like the craziness of everything really blowing up, but now it's kind of stabilized, and I've really been like soul searching. It's like, okay, like I can't be doing this forever. But I would say the last like year, the thing I've learned is like really be honest with yourself and like chase things that are authentic, right? I think the past couple years it's been like followers and like money and views, but now it's like those things, are important to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's your career, like you need to look at those things,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it's like, does that really matter? Like, what's your legacy? Like, what are you gonna leave behind, right? Like, if you're about to die, will you look back on your life and be happy with the things that you believed in or lived, or actions and things like that? And so I think the last year, it's do things that truly make you happy, even though they might not give you external validation. And so I think that's a big thing. And so that's why now I'm like trying to start like a YouTube channel where it's just like meaningful vlogs, and I don't really care about algorithm or views. It's just like making something that's like
For your own.
my own creative fulfillment. So I think that's a really big thing I've learned, is just like, you have to do things that truly fulfill you. Don't chase, like, I mean, I don't want to be hypocritical, because I think it's important to follow, like, like it's good to make money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
It's good to, get views, right?
Mm-hmm.
If like social media is your thing,
Mm-hmm.
it is good to have these things, but I think they need to be very controlled and not get out of place and not let those things consume you.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in like a balance of things. So
Mhm.
I think those are like the main points from like
That's
the
cool,
past
dude. That's
couple
cool.
years.
I it's funny you said the death thing, because that's like one of my favorite questions, and I don't even know if I've asked any person on the podcast this, but like, if you were to die today, and like, this sounds crazy, but I always think about my funeral. I always do. I always vision who's gonna be there, what's gonna be said. If there was like, if you died, what would you want, like, kind of at your funeral to be said about you? Like, what are those things that you were like looking down and be like, dope?
It's a very Gary Vee question. He's always like, think like you're gonna die today, or think about like your family dying.
I just it's Gary's voice too. Guys, we can make more.
Just work till your eyes bleed. Dude, it's
I
crazy.
can make $12,000 a month off of garage sales alone, and I could just sell things.
Hey, shout out Gary though. He DM'd me a couple
Did he
times.
really?
Yeah, bro, he is so weird. He just DM'd me, yo, what up, man? You're killing it. And then I actually went to his
That's crazy.
his headquarters, Vayner Media.
No way.
It's like his huge agent, dude. That dude is running an empire too, which is crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, I just like making fun of him because he just says funny things. But
Yeah.
no, that's a great question. Honestly, this sounds cliche, but I would want people to say like he truly just followed his dreams, like he did what he loved. And I think that's like a main thing in life. Like, so many people, I don't want to preach, like, be like, preach to the choir, like, I don't know. I just don't want to like tell anyone what to do, but like, and I've been there too. But I think a lot of people do things that they don't want to do. You know, like maybe they feel like they're in school and they have the pressures of school, and or I don't know. Maybe they're just like in a relationship they don't want to be in, or maybe they're doing something because their parents are telling them to. Which again, like I've been there and I'm still there, where it's like you do things because of pressure. But I just feel like you should just do what you love. Like life, like if you really think about it, like life is so like short, dude. Like you're just gonna die, you know, and like whatever you believe in, like, you know, after life, whatever, but like as of now, what we know now is we will die. So it's like, what are you gonna do with your life? You know what I mean?
Hence, you want to making it surreal.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I
just,
love that. That's like
yeah.
one of the coolest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because it's so true.
Yeah,
Like when you're with the homies and you're doing something crazy, like you're living this surreal. You're like, this is
crazy.
Why not live that?
I always have to like remind myself I have to do things where I'm saying this is crazy out loud. You know, like yesterday, my roommate Clint, he's pursuing music, and he had a really cool. I don't know how much I can say, but pretty much he got connected to like this really big producer who wanted him, like he was sending Clint like, he was like, hey, like jump on these tracks, and like Clint recorded it.
No way, good for him.
And
I love that, man.
and sent this producer like these songs, and this guy was like, dude, this is so good, like I might want you to be on these tracks. And like, dude, I don't know if I can say, I'll tell you off camera, but like that track that he like sang on has like a huge rapper on it. Yeah, and this guy's, and we yesterday, like this is all we were like, this is crazy, and we were just freaking out. I'm like, those are the moments, and like it's so cool to see homies having those moments too. But like, yeah, like we were just like, this is crazy, and I was like, that's what life's all about.
It's abundance.
Yeah.
It's like living in abundance, and I think you're a very abundant person, like very. And I think
you.
abundance, you're not a scarce person. You're abundant. You want to do things right, and you want to do them big. And abundant people, they're not selfish.
Yeah.
They
And
love
it's just
seeing
like
people.
And it's just like I don't do stuff like this just to say I'm doing cool. It's just fun.
You've
You know
been
what I
doing
mean?
it. It's 10 years.
It's just fun. It's just fun. Like this stuff is so fun, you know? Well, it's just like building something is so fun. Whether that is social media or business or, you know, fitness or whatever, just like that aspect of like building and like achieving, so fun.
And it's so cool to see that, because it's like, even talking about Gary Vee, there's that video of Gary Vee and that woman. She's like, you're going to know my name. Like, I'm big. I'm going to be big. And he's like, you already are. Like,
Yeah.
I believed I was the man before I was the man.
Yeah.
And that's similar to you. Like, people are like seeing, oh, James, he's doing this. He's Mr. B, you know, he's popping off. But it's like, you've been doing it for 10 years now.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about like the collabs or whatever. It's like when you say you're doing it, you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like if money's your thing and you're like, you know, you need to make this much, then do that thing if that's really what makes you happy. But I don't think it's like the journey's the end.
Yeah.
Right? Like
No, for sure.
Like you are doing it like in this moment.
Yeah.
Like you're doing it right now. We're all doing it, you know? That's the perspective. Like if you're so outcome oriented, you're always going to just be chasing nothing.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Like,
And usually when the outcome happens, you're not really, it's not gonna.
no, it doesn't hit
It's
us.
the journey. It really is the pro. It's like when I make this relation, like when I got my golden door,
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, it
That's so
was
cool.
it had not, the door was sick, but it wasn't like a celebration. It was like, no, this is normal.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I've been manifesting, I knew I was gonna do it. And it's similar to you, where you're like, dude, I was manifesting as a kid with Logic. I was manifesting with Mr. Beast. Drake's gonna be next
Oh,
because you've
for
been
sure.
manifesting.
Yeah.
I believe it. Like I really believe
Yeah.
someday you're gonna be.
I will.
Like
I will.
And I 100%, and I love that idea of manifesting. And I think a big portion of my podcast is winners. And I think when people hear winning, they think beating someone else. But I think winning and being a winner is like being the best you can be.
Yeah. It's all internal.
It's this
Yeah.
internal thing, and winners, like, and that's what I want to talk. Winning has a price, and most people don't want to pay the price.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll wrap this podcast up. But what has been the price for you?
Oh, such good questions. Digging deep. Um,
And you can be raw. You don't have to be whatever.
no. I'm just trying to think. I mean, I think it's just like, I think I learned this like looking back, but the price is like, it it just takes a lot. Like, for example, social media. I can't speak on anything. I'll just speak on like what I know. Like with social media, it's taken 10 plus years to get to where I am now. And where I am now is like just the beginning in my head. So in my head, dude, I'm like, okay, with like YouTube and like building a successful brand, like I'm thinking it's going to be another 10 years. That's just like my brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, in another 10 years, I feel like that's when I'll be at that point. And that's still like not the end. And so I guess the price is like, you just have to understand that building something great takes a lot. It takes a lot of time. Dude, it's not like I get so stressed out sometimes behind the scenes with like brands or shoots, or I'm like, oh, this is not working. Like it's not like all pretty, you know?
No.
Like there's like when you're knocking doors, dude, like you'll have maybe
By the way, James, he was a slinger.
yeah, but I sucked at it. I sucked at it. But like you'll knock 15 doors and everyone will be like rude, and maybe you're just drenching from sweat because it's so hot.
Yep.
And like that sucks, but like that's the price. You know what I mean? So same thing. It's like there's like it doesn't take like great things take time, right? It's not gonna happen overnight. Like you're gonna be so frustrated. You're gonna have so many. I have doubts all the time. I'm like sometimes like literally like I tell my roommates this. I feel like once or twice a year. Sometimes I'm just like, screw this. I'm just gonna eat whatever I want and just stay home and play video games and just get like a minimum wage job where I just survive. Like literally sometimes like that's what I think, because it's
hard.
It's hard. This stuff is not easy. But that's
Which
what
no
makes
one knows about you. Everyone sees
everyone thinks I posted a video, I got lucky, and it's like, and I'm set. No, like there's so much, and I'm not trying to like ask for pity or like just play the victim, but it's just like it's real. Like it's like sandpaper, right? Like it's just so rough, but then the finished product is like it has like the pristine, smooth.
It looks good.
Exactly, and so. Yeah, I guess that's a long answer, but yeah, the price is just. That's why they also say you have to love it too, because if you don't love it,
your why has to be deep enough.
yeah.
What's your why?
Dude, it's just fun, like.
So dope.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like I grew up watching these creators. I'm like, I want to do that. So it's just like the dream, It's.
And so that's like my lead up question, and I love what you said. Like my favorite phrase is like, everyone wants grape juice, but no one wants to pick the grapes. And it's like, no one wants to do year after year posting, daily editing, all of this. And I'm like so amazed by you, because this is so stupid. But when I tried to start a sneaker channel when I was like 10 on YouTube, and I lasted like one video, it was so long, the iMovie editing, like I just couldn't, it was iMovie.
Yeah.
And so seeing you do this and like work on your craft, and people don't realize it is your craft. This is what you do.
Right.
It's not a game. Like it
Yeah.
is a fun game, but this is what you do.
Yeah.
And you're professional about it, and you do it well. But one of my favorite things to look at is it's called the why triangle, and it's made of 3 components: your why, your dreams, your people, and your revenge. And I think that creates kind of like a deep why.
For sure.
So
That's
go
cool.
through 3 pillars. First, let's do your revenge. So I keep receipts personally. I keep things people have told me. I remember things like my middle school basketball coach, Ryan Latassi, cut me in grade 6 and 7. Just
Yeah.
little things like that. Well, let's go through them briefly. So
You've brought this up before.
I love it.
And I think about revenge, and like, I'm trying to think like deep down, like if I actually have revenge.
you're so kind. I feel like you don't.
No,
but
not even that. It's there. I'm just
Like,
trying
you
to
have
think.
receipts somewhere.
There's small moments where it's revenge. Ah, dude, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is like the people who are doing it, right? And it's not in a hateful way, but I'm like, if you're freaking doing it and you're human, but you're doing what I want to do, it's like, why can't I do it? We're all the same, right? We're all human. And so I think revenge is like, is that, I know that's kind of a weird answer, but I think about the people doing it and I get like jealous maybe, and I'm like, I want to do that. But I can't think of anyone like specific. Oh, actually,
It doesn't have. Yeah, let's say it.
I have, it's not anything crazy, but I have like an ex,
Mm-hmm.
and like she wasn't like super rude about it, but I was dating her when I was like when things were kind of like not like really big, but like starting. And I just remember she was always just kind of very traditional. She's like, no, you need to go to a good college. You know, like you need to.
Kind of like demeaning what you're doing.
Yeah, but she wasn't like
No.
if she's watching this, I'm not like calling you out, but like it was more of just like okay, that this is cool, like I support you, but like go to school, you know, like go to a good college, like that's important. And then I was always like, what? Like I don't feel supported. So that's probably.
It's crazy how like if you really deep down, it's a subconscious thing. Your revenge.
I'm sure I have so much more.
Oh, you could sit down
yeah.
and like journal,
Yeah,
like probably
yeah,
30
for
things
sure.
people have said, but it's like this. So I feel like winners, they always have a subconscious of like,
Yeah.
which keeps them kind of going through the grittiness,
Yeah.
you know. And so, your people, like who are your people?
Huge, dude.
I feel like this is your big one.
Huge,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like starting off with my family, dude. Like my brothers, we do this together. My parents, you know, they're immigrants from Korea. Like literally sacrificed so much for me to have this life, and so it's just like making them proud, and they're so supportive too. And they're Asian strict parents, but they're just so supportive. So family's huge. Like my girlfriend, obviously, is a huge one.
She's wonderful, by the way.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Really, really.
Dude, she's solid.
You got a good one.
Yeah, she's so sick.
And everyone will let you know that.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've talked to, they're
Yeah.
always like, Jacob was like, dude, he's like, James?
Yeah,
He got
he's
lucky,
jealous.
bro.
He's jealous. I
course he
snatched her
is.
first.
Yeah.
No, obviously her. And then just a lot of just creator friends. You know, my roommates like Clint, Ricky, they're all like grinding their own things, and just like online internet friends, and it's just so many people, dude. Like you, Connolly, like just all these people who are in this like space of like passion and pursuing. Like, dude, if it weren't for the people, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
So
People that are in your corner.
I can name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
so
I'm sure
many
you could.
people.
And so many people are in your corner.
Yeah, that's
and
the
so
cool
many
thing.
people really care. And that's like such a good feeling when you know people are in your corner.
100%,
No
dude.
matter what.
I've had nothing but like awesome support. Even if with like friends and people who aren't creatives or aren't pursuing.
Oh, yeah.
Like them too have always been so supportive. So people,
You want to make them proud.
Yeah, I think deep down, like I know I don't need anyone because like I'm so like passionate about this. Like I know I could do it myself, but I get here. But with all these people, like I get here.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You
huge.
really do. Winners always have enough in the
Yeah,
tank
yeah.
to do it without no one.
Yeah.
But when you have the right
Just
people,
out-
it's,
way bigger.
and then your
So-
dreams.
Ooh, my dreams.
Like, what do you want to be? Where do you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
be 10 years from now?
Dude, it's so simple. It's just YouTube. It's just social media. I love being able to like post something, like something meaningful, and then like millions of people can see it. So as of now, you know, it's, you know, social media videos, making meaningful videos. I've recently started getting into like, you know, branding and business, so like building my own business there. But I'm sure one day it'll be family, you know, it'll be kids. But right now it's, just building a really cool brand on social media. It's just it. So
Which is awesome.
yeah,
Dude,
man.
you're so cool. Seriously, you're a winner, and I like.
You too, man.
I just respect winners. I just know it has a price, and I just know that not everyone's willing to pay the price. And when I meet people that pay the price, it's like an honor. I'm like,
Dude, I likewise, right back at
No,
you. You're
seriously.
killing it.
Thank
you need
you,
your
bro.
own podcast and like have someone interview you.
yeah.
So
The last question that I always ask each guest is the name of the podcast is Grit and Grace, and I just ask each guest, like, when they hear that, what do they think of? Like when you hear Grit and Grace.
first thing is I think of the grit,
Nice.
So shout out Grit. Go sign up.
And I want to say, I just posted this on the Grit and Grace. Is I like the name, the word grit before I joined the Grit. Sorry, keep going.
No, but when I think of the Grit and Grace, it's like yin and yang, dude. It's like this contrast that it's like two opposite things that you need for it to fully be like a whole thing. So when I think of Grit, I think of just like that aggressive, like super like cutthroat, like fire. And then Grace is just like that soft, like, submissive thing that you just need. It's a balance, kind of. I don't know what I'm saying really right now, but
No,
I think it's just like you need both, because it's like if you have too much of one thing, then I don't think it's effective. But when you have both, it's just like a balance of stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm freaking saying, bro. It's just the first thing that came in my
I think
mind.
that's perfect because that's what it is. Is if I think everyone, if they lived their life with Grit and Grace, they'd be chilling. And based off of what I know about you and what we've talked about, you easily have both of those qualities.
Yes, thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. And thanks for
Subscribe,
coming on.
follow.
In 5 years from now, we'll have episode 2, or even
Oh,
a year
that'd
from
be
now.
sick,
See
dude.
where you're at now. So
in 5 years, I'm going to be Drake.
dope.
Like, I will be be him.
We manifest
I'll be
this. He
brown.
will be with Drake. And
No,
so
I will be. I'm gonna be him. Like, I'm gonna be different skin color and everything.
That's dope.
Like, yeah,
I-
like, that's
I-
how crazy I'm gonna manifest. It's like I'm gonna be him.
You're gonna be Drake.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you gotta. Just kidding. That's a wrap for episode 7. You're gonna have that schlong.
Yeah, I was gonna say
about
that,
to say it.
but
I was like,
like,
oh.
I'm gonna be.
Whenever I'm about to say something a little bit rank, I'm like, my mom's gonna be
Yeah,
watching
it's
this.
like yeah.
That
Heck.
schlong. Have you seen Drake schlong? Did you ever see the clip?
I hate to admit it, but I have.
The thing is
I hate to admit it, but I have. It's crazy.